Hello dear students. So today I am going to discuss the further concept of this chapter nuclei. So that is nothing but law of radioactive decay. So in general we can also call this as a decay law. So law of radioactive decay. Generally the physicist by name Rutherford and Soddy, they found that the atoms of the radioactive substance are undergoing the spontaneous disintegration and thereby they are getting converted into the atoms of some other elements with the emission of radioactive radiations. And remember, as the radioactive sample disintegrates, the number of atoms of the radioactive sample will be reduces with respect to the time. So as the number of atoms disintegrate with respect to the time is decreases, then the rate of disintegration, it means the number of atoms disintegrating per unit time also decreases. Is it clear? So very simple. So what Rutherford and Soddy observed experimentally means the atoms of the radioactive sample will undergo the what? A spontaneous disintegration. Is it clear? So when they undergo the spontaneous disintegration, they are going to becomes the elements of some, they becomes the atoms of some different elements. So and even they emit some radioactive radiations. And remember, the number of atoms in the sample will be decreases and thereby the rate of disintegration, that is number of atoms disintegrating per unit time is also decreases. So the rate of disintegration at any instant of time if you want to calculate, so then that will be governed by the what? A decay law, that is referred as a law of radioactive decay. So now we shall see what is the statement of this decay law. Okay, so what is the very simple? So radioactive substance will undergo disintegration. Okay, with the passage of time, the number of atoms in the element is gone, decreases. It means the rate of disintegration also decreases. Then the rate of disintegration of the radioactive substance at any instant of time t is given by decay law. And what is that decay law? We shall see the statement of it. So statement of decay law. Radioactive decay law states that radioactive decay law states that the rate of disintegration, the rate of disintegration of a radioactive substance, the rate of disintegration of a radioactive substance at any instant of time t, the rate of disintegration of a radioactive substance at any instant of time is directly proportional to the number of atoms present, at that instant of time, is directly proportional to the number of atoms present at that instant of time. This is a decay law. So radioactive decay law states that the rate of disintegration of a radioactive substance at any instant of time is directly proportional to the number of atoms present in the sample at that instant of time. So it means, now I am going to explain this in detail by considering the mathematical equations. So now we shall see, say let n naught be the number of atoms, n naught be the number of atoms present initially in the sample, at t equal to 0. Try to understand this. Initially in the radioactive sample, the number of atoms will be n naught, and it will be at a time t equal to 0. Say let n be the number of atoms, let n be the number of atoms after the disintegration, let n be the number of atoms present in the sample or radioactive substance after the time t. So initially here time is 0, here is the time will be t. So it means there is a rate of disintegration of the atoms in the sample, that is dN by dt. Therefore the rate of disintegration of this dN by dt represent the rate of disintegration of a sample at t. It is given by dN by dt. Then according to decay law, this dN by dt is proportional to the what? The number of atoms present at that instant of time. So it means the rate of disintegration is directly proportional to the number of atoms present at that instant of time. So number of atoms present at that instant of time will be what? That is n naught, we say. Is it right? So therefore, so what is that? The decay law states the rate of disintegration of a radioactive substance at any instant of time is directly proportional to the number of atoms present at that instant of time. Means, say if dN by dt number of atom is, so if n number of atoms are disintegrating in a time t, then this rate of disintegration is proportional to the what? The number of atoms n. Is it clear? So this is a decay law. So according to decay law, the rate of disintegration of the radioactive substance at any instant of time is directly proportional to the what? That is according to decay law, so you know that if dN by dt is rate of disintegration of a radioactive sample at a time t, then according to decay law, this rate of disintegration is proportional to number of atoms present at that instant of time. This is very important. So rate of disintegration is proportional to number of atoms present at that instant of time only. So this implies dN by dt is equal to minus lambda into that is equal to n into n. So where lambda is called proportionality constant, it is also called as decay constant for the given substance it is. It is decay constant for the given radioactive substance. Why? Because this is constant for the given radioactive sample, but from a sample to sample it is different. Decay constant of uranium is different, decay constant of thorium it is different, radium it is different, like that. So decay constant here lambda for the given one, and here negative sign. Why negative sign is there? Remember, the negative sign is because n is decreases with respect to time. The number of atoms in the sample is gone decreases as the time increases. So therefore, here negative sign indicates that the number of atoms will be decreasing in the sample. Negative sign that n is decreases with time. So now, if you rearrange this one, that is dn by n is equal to minus lambda into dt I will write. So by this, if I take integration on both sides, if I integrate this equation, integrating on both sides, what happens? This integration of 1 by x into dx, that is log x to the base e plus c. Okay, so therefore this becomes a log n to the base e is equal to lambda is constant, integration of constant cannot be there, so it will be minus lambda, integration of dt is t plus integral constant c. Integrating on both sides this equation, say equation 1 ankoldri bekidre idana, both side to the equation 1, then log n to the base e equal to minus lambda t plus c. Say if t is equal to 0, if t equal to 0, it means in the initial condition of a sample. So initially in the sample, I told you that when the time is 0, the number of atoms will be n naught. So after the time t, the atoms will be n. So therefore, in the sample at the time equal to 0, the number of atoms will be n equal to n naught. So thereby, if I take a t equal to 0, n equal to n naught in this equation, say equation number 2, then equation 2 becomes log n naught to the base e is equal to log n naught to the base e is equal to this minus lambda t, that is t is 0, minus lambda into 0 is 0 plus c. So it means I got the value of c. Integral constant can be written as log of n naught to the base e. So then what happens? The equation 2 becomes, this one, say this is I call 3, put 3 in 2, what it becomes? Log n to the base e is equal to minus lambda t plus log n naught to the base e, this one. So therefore, log n to the base e minus log n naught to the base e is equal to minus lambda t. Am I right? Just rearranging the terms. This becomes a log m minus log n, that is a log of m by n, that is n by n naught to the base e equal to minus lambda t. Okay, so this equation I am going to write it as, that is n is equal to n naught into e to the power of minus lambda t. If I operate logarithm on both sides, so if I take anti-log to this one, then it becomes the what? N by n naught equal to this anti-log of minus lambda t, that will be e power minus lambda t. So from this equation, I think you familiar this type of equation, is it right? So here this value E is nothing but 2.718, an exponential value it is equal to 2.718. See here, N is the number of atoms disintegrated at the time t, where N0 is the number of atoms present in the sample when time is 0. So here the number of atoms are decreasing, the number of atoms of the radioactive samples are decreasing with respect to the time. Yes or no? See here, e to the power of minus lambda t is there. As e power increases, this t increases, lambda into t increases, but because of this minus sign, so this will be what? Decreases. So as the time increases, the number of atoms in the sample will be decreases, we say. Means this value will be reduces as the time increases. So therefore, the number of atoms in the sample will be decreases as the time increases. This is true from this exponential equation. Is it clear? So where N is the number of atoms disintegrated in a time t, N0 be the number of atoms in the sample when time is 0. Got to know this one. So here, so from this equation, if I plot a graph between N versus this time, means number of atoms versus time, if I plot a graph, I am getting like an exponential, that is a decay curve. So you know, you are familiar with this type of curve. I will draw this one. So just a minute, I am going to draw that one. See, if I plot a graph, so if I plot a graph, this is number of atoms in the sample, number of atoms in the sample it is, and this is time along x-axis and along y-axis the number of atoms. So generally when the time is 0, I told you that the number of atoms in the sample will be, that is N0. So this is the thing. So very simple, this type of curve is familiar to you, I told. In the first year you might be studied. This is you studied as a cooling curve. As the time increases, the temperature of a substance is decreases, right? Cooling curve, Newton's law of cooling. In the same way, here also as the time increases, the number of atoms in the sample get reducing. Is it right? And how? Exponentially. This is very important. So look at this one. Okay, so this is we call this as a decay curve, we say. This curve we call as what? A decay curve. Say next, suppose if I take t is equal to, say time interval will be equal to 1 by lambda. If I take t equal to 1 by lambda, then what happens to this equation? When a time interval is equal to 1 by lambda, that is reciprocal of wavelength, then what is the number of atoms in the sample will be? N equal to N0 into e to the power of minus lambda into t means 1 by lambda. Then this lambda get cancelled. This N is equal to e power minus 1, that is 1 by e times N0. It means when the time interval will be equal to reciprocal of a decay constant, at the time the number of atoms in the sample will be equal to 1 by e times the number of atoms present originally in the sample. So it means in the time interval equal to decay, reciprocal of a decay constant, at the time interval equal to reciprocal of a decay constant, the number of atoms in the sample will be decreases 1 by e times the original amount. Time interval reciprocal to decay constant ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸು 1 by e times the original number of atoms ನಷ್ಟು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ disintegrated will be equal to N0 by e, means original atoms disintegrated by e times. So So this value of E is familiar, value of E I told you, that is 2.718. So by this we can calculate this one. So 1 by E, that is 1 by 2.718. Therefore 1 divided by 2.718 times N naught, and this is found to be, N is equal to, that is 0.3679 N naught we say. 0.3679 N naught. N naught. So now I can define what is this decay constant will be. So very simple, decay constant is nothing but what? A reciprocal of a time at which the number of atoms of the sample will be decreases by 1 by E times the original number of atoms present in the radioactive sample we say. Is it clear? So now I can define decay constant. So now decay constant is nothing but the what? Decay constant, that is lambda. Decay constant ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ವೇವ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, decay constant. So we know that when T is equal to 1 by lambda, at the time the number of atoms will be decreases by 1 by E times the number of atoms present in the sample. 1 by E times the number of atoms in the sample when time period is 1 by lambda. When the time is equal to 1 by lambda, reciprocal of decay constant, at the time the number of atoms disintegrate by 1 by E times the original number of atoms. So therefore the decay constant lambda may be defined as it is the reciprocal of time during which the number of atoms disintegrate or decreases, you can say disintegrate by 1 by E times the number of atoms present, 1 by E times the number of atoms present originally in the sample. This is a definition of a decay constant. Remember, decay constant is a constant for the given radioactive substance. It varies for different radioactive elements, but for the given radioactive element it will be constant. So this is about the definition of decay constant. A very important note, so during the radioactive decay, so atoms of the radioactive sample will be disintegrate, but it's the disintegrate means I told you that the atoms are getting converted into the atoms of some another element, new element they form. So uranium, if it disintegrate, it forms thorium, so like that. So when it get converted into the atoms of the different elements, so here not to say that the mass is the mass or number of atoms will be decreased in the sample, never, but during the what radioactive decay, practically it appears to be what, there is a decrease in mass of the sample and atoms of the sample, but in overall the total mass and the total number of atoms for the given sample will be constant only. It remains conserved, we say. Is it clear? But it can be converted into the what, the atom and mass of the some another element. Okay, so this is the thing. And next concept of this class is half-life. So I hope that you understood this decay law. So try to practice this derivation. This is very important. So next one is half-life. Which is represented with the letter T. So what do you mean by half-life? So half-life means, half-life of a radioactive substance, half-life of radioactive substance may be defined as it is the time, half-life means it is the time actually. Half-life of radioactive substance may be defined as it is the time during which half of the radioactive substance get disintegrated is called half-life. So what is half-life? So half-life means it is the time during which half of the radioactive substance is going to decay or it get disintegrate. It is the time during which the number of atoms disintegrate or half of the number of atoms, that is it is the time during which the half of the radioactive substance get disintegrate. It is called half-life or half-life period we also call, and which is represented with the letter T. Are you understanding? So what is half-life? It is the time during which half of the radioactive substance get disintegrated. That is the reason we call it as half-life, we say. So this is the half-life. So you can also say that the half-life of radioactive substance may be defined as it is the time during which half of the radioactive substance get disintegrated. Which radioactive substances? Original radioactive substances. So we can also say it is the time during which half of the original radioactive substance, half of the original radioactive substance get disintegrated. It is called as half-life, represented with the letter T. See, when the half-life of the sample will be greater, the rate of decay will be very less. This is very important. When the half-life of the sample will be more, the rate of disintegration or reducing half of the original atom will be less. If the half-life is very short, they are nothing but they are having the spontaneous disintegration. Their disintegration will be very fast. Means rate of decaying will be very fast, those elements which have shorter half-lives. So elements which possess the longer half-life, they have the very less disintegration. They have a shorter disintegration, we say. So they here, if N naught be the number of atoms present, if N naught is the number of atoms. We have an expression for half-life here. I am going to find it. So let us consider if N0 is the number of atoms present originally in the sample, you say. The number of atoms present in the original sample. Number of atoms present in the or present originally in the sample. Originally in the sample. Originally in the sample when the time will be 0. Say if time is equal to half-life. Say if time is equal to half-life, I told you that when the time is equal to half-life, at which the half of the original substance get disintegrated. So when the time is equal to half-life, at the time the number of atoms will be equal to what? N0 by 2. Are you agree? N0 by 2. So what is N? The number of atoms present. The number of N0 is the number of atoms present originally in the sample, where N is nothing but the number of atoms get disintegrated, and we know that this number of atoms get disintegrated from the concept of decay law. I can write it as that from the concept of decay law. I'll erase this definition. I'll erase and I'll continue. See, if N0 is the number of atoms present in the sample initially, say if N is the number of atoms in the sample when time is equal to half-life, but actually this cannot be N, this N will be equal to N0 by 2 at T equal to T, half-life, because half-life means it is the time during which half of the original atoms disintegrate. Therefore, the disintegrated atom will be N0 by 2, which is nothing but N. So, this number of atoms disintegrated from decay law, we know that N0 is equal to e power minus lambda t, which is equal to N0 by 2. So, here this N0 get cancelled. So, what it becomes? E to the power of minus lambda into this capital T I will write, because half-life period I am considering, is equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2. So, this I can write it as that 2 is equal to e to the power of lambda t. Okay. I can write it as 2 equal to e to the power of lambda t, or e power lambda t is equal to 2. So, this implies lambda t is equal to log 2 to the base e. Log 2 to the base e. So, lambda t is equal to or simply t is equal to log 2 to the base e by lambda. Then t equal to 2.303 log 2 to the base 10 I can write. So, I can convert log 2 to the base e to base 10 by taking this 2.303 into logarithm of 2 to the base 10. So, if I multiply a factor 2.303, then this log base e get converted into base 10. So, base 10 logarithm I am taking upon lambda. So, t is equal to 2.303 into log 2 to the base 10. Obviously, mantissa will be 0. The characteristic will be 0, not the mantissa. Okay, because every log has two solution. One is characteristic, another one is mantissa. Here characteristic will be 0 and mantissa of log 2, that is 3010. 0.3010 upon lambda. So, therefore, this becomes then half-life T half is equal to, in some of the book it may given as T half like this also. So, T half is equal to, or half-life period T equal to 0.693 divided by lambda. So this is the expression for half-life of a radioactive sample. So T equal to 0.693 by lambda. From this equation I can clearly say that half-life is constant for the given radioactive substance. Yes or no? For a given radioactive substance, decay constant is constant. So if it is constant, this complete half-life will becomes the constant for the given radioactive sample. So if you take uranium, it has its own decay constant, so it has its own half-life. If you take thorium, it has its own decay constant, therefore it has its own half-life. And half-life is constant for that given radioactive sample. Is it clear? So just go through this mathematics of the half-life per derivation. So here you can observe when the time interval is equal to t, so here you can observe that when t is equal to, when the time is equal to t, at the time the number of atoms will be n0 by 2. If time is twice the half-life, 2t, this will be n0 by 4. Yes or no? Half plus half, n0 by 4. So if you take it is, if t is equal to 3t, 3 times the half-life, the number of atoms present in the sample will becomes n0 by 6. That is n0 by, it's 2, 4, and it becomes n0 divided by, that is half of this one, that is n0 by 8. So like this, if you take 4t, it becomes n0 divided by, that is 16. Is it right? So when half-life is equal to t, atoms will be n0 by 2. When 2t, it is n0 by 4. When it is 3t, n0 by 8. n0 by 8. And if you take for 4t, so it becomes n0 divided by, that is 16 we say, 16 it becomes. So like this, you can write like this for n half-lives. So ನೀವು ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ n half-life ವರೆಗೂ ಬರೀಬೋದು. So when the time is equal to n half-lives, so what we can write? The number of atoms in the sample will be n0 divided by 2 to the power of n. Can I? Because n0 is n0 by 2, n0 by 4 is n0 by 2 square, this is n0 by 2 cube. So on up to for n times, is it right? So I can write it as 1 by n0 by 2 power n. The number of atoms after n half-lives will be n0 by 2 to the power of n. The number of atoms remain in the sample after n half-lives will be n0 divided by 2 to the power of n. So but from this equation it is clearly we can say that, so after the n half-lives, the number of atoms in the sample remain unchanged, which is equal to 1 by, that is 1 by 2 to the power of n. Okay. After n half-lives, the number of atoms that remain unchanged, that is 1 by 2 to the power of n times the number of, initial number of atoms. Yes or no? So even after n half-lives also, the number of atoms that do not remain unchanged, that is 1 by 2 to the power of n times the original number of atoms. So this is about the concept of half-life. So from this equation finally what we can conclude? So for first half-life the number of atoms will become half. For second half-lives that is double half, that is n0 by 4. That is next for the third half-life the half of this n0 by 4, that is n0 by 8. So next for the fourth half-life that is n0 by 8 by 2, that is nothing but n0 by 16. So like this if you take for 5t like that, so on up to for nt the n0 by 2 to the power of n for n half-lives. It means after the n half-lives the number of atoms in the sample remain unchanged, that is 1 by 2 to the power of n times the number of atoms present originally in the sample. So this is about the concept of radioactive decay law and half-life period and expression for half-life period, that is T is equal to 0.693 by lambda. Remember this one. So try to remember this concept. So next we have mean life. So what is that mean life? After the half-life of a radioactive substance, the next topic is mean life, or it is also called as the mean life or average lives of an radioactive sample. So next one is mean life, that is tau. See, if you take a radioactive substance, all the radioactive substance, the atoms in the radioactive substance cannot disintegrate at same instant. So if you take a radioactive substance, so it has atoms. So remember, the atoms of the radioactive substance cannot be disintegrated at the same instant. Means all atoms at a time they can't disintegrate. So some atoms may have a shorter lives and some atoms may be having longer lives. Some may get disintegrate very shortly. Some atoms cannot get disintegrated very shortly. They get longer time to disintegrate. Is it right? So therefore, the most precise one to measure their time of disintegration is nothing but what? Mean life. So what do you mean by mean life? So mean life or average life, mean life or the average life of a radioactive sample, of radioactive sample may be defined as, it is the ratio of, may be defined as, it is the ratio of sum of lives of, ratio of sum of lives of individual atoms. It is the ratio of sum of lives of the individual atoms to the total number of atoms present in the sample. Total number of atoms present in the sample. So this is nothing but what? Mean life. So what is mean life? So mean life or average life of an radioactive substance is defined as, it is the ratio of sum of lives of individual atoms to the total number of atoms present in that sample. So half this mean life tau is equal to what? 1 by lambda. So generally the reciprocal of this decay constant is referred as here mean life. So 1 by lambda. So if you recall the concept of half-life here, so half-life is given as 0.693 by lambda. So here this 0.693 1 by lambda is nothing but what? Tau. So it means half-life is equal to what? So it means half-life is equal to 0.693 times the mean life. Is it? Half-life is nothing but what? 0.693 times the mean life. I can write with the help of this equation. So here lambda is nothing but decay constant or disintegration constant of the given sample. Decay constant for given radioactive substance or sample, we say. So try to understand the concept here. Say if T equal to 1 by lambda, so next if T is equal to 1 by lambda, so corresponding to T equal to 1 by lambda, we know that the number of atoms will be N0 by E. So when time is equal to reciprocal of wavelength, the reciprocal of this decay constant, not wavelength, sorry, that is a decay constant. So this when T equal to 1 by lambda, so T equal to 1 by lambda means that is tau only, means for one mean life, we know that already when a time is equal to reciprocal of decay constant, at the time the number of atoms in the sample will be decreases 1 by E times the original amount. Yes or no? So here also T equal to 1 by lambda means, which is nothing but mean life tau. It means for one mean life the number of atoms, so N is equal to N0 by E, so this 1 divided by 2.718, so that is nothing but a 0.3679 times N0. Okay, here E is 2.718. So if I take 1 by 2.718, I will get this much, 0.3679 N0. It means when the time period is equal to reciprocal of a decay constant, and this 1 by lambda is nothing but mean life I told. So for one mean life, the number of atoms in the sample will be reduced by 36.79% of initial value. So for one mean life, how many number of atoms get reduced from the original means? That is 36.79%. One the mean life is 36.79% of the atoms is going to disintegrate. So therefore N equal to 0.3679 times of N0. Okay, so where N0 is the number of atoms present originally in the sample. So where N is the number of atoms left after the disintegration when T equal to 1 by lambda, or when time is mean life. Is it clear? So this is about the concept of decay law, half-life, mean life. In the next class, I am going to discuss the concept of activity. Is it clear? And different radioactive reactions, that is nothing but radioactive decays, that is alpha decay, beta decay, gamma decay in detail. Okay. So I am going to proceed in my next class. Thank you.